the pressure inside the cabin gradually decreased. As it passed through an altitude of 12,040 feet, the cabin altitude warning horn sounded. The warning should have prompted the crew to stop climbing, but it was misidentified by the crew as a takeoff configuration warning, which signals that the aircraft is not ready for takeoff and can only sound on the ground. The alert sound is identical for both warnings. In the next few minutes, several warning lights on the overhead panel in the cockpit illuminated. One or both of the equipment cooling warning lights came on to indicate low airflow through the cooling fans, a result of the decreased air density, accompanied by the master caution light. The passenger oxygen light illuminated when at an altitude of approximately 18,000 feet. The oxygen masks in the passenger cabin automatically deployed. Shortly after the cabin altitude warning sounded, the captain radioed the Helios Operations Center and reported the takeoff configuration warning on, and cooling equipment normal and alternate offline. He then spoke to the ground engineer, and repeatedly stated that the cooling ventilation fan lights were off. The engineer asked, "Can you confirm that the pressurization panel is set to auto?" However, the captain, already experiencing the onset of hypoxia's initial symptoms, disregarded the question, and instead asked in reply, "Where are my equipment cooling circuit breakers?" This was the last communication with the aircraft. The aircraft continued to climb until it leveled off at flight level 340, approximately 34,000 feet. Between 9:30 and 9:40, Nicosia ATC repeatedly attempted to contact the aircraft, without success. At 9:37, the aircraft passed from Cyprus Flight Information Region into Athens, without making contact with Athens ATC. 19 attempts to contact the aircraft between 10:12 and 10:50 also met with no response, and at 10:40, the aircraft entered the holding pattern for Athens Airport, still at flight level 340. It remained in the holding pattern, under control of the autopilot, for the next 70 minutes. Two F-16 fighter aircraft from the Hellenic Air Force 111th Combat Wing were scrambled from NEA Ankylos Air Base to establish visual contact. They intercepted the passenger jet at 11:24, and observed that the first officer was slumped motionless at the controls, and the captain's seat was empty. They also reported that oxygen masks were